Good day or night to you, and welcome to the Gaming Tome. Do you ever think about something that could happen and then start wondering, oh, how would it happen? And then you're worrying like, oh, this thing's gonna happen. But then it doesn't happen, and then you're thinking like, wait a minute. Wait, this thing that could happen, it's not happening. And then you're thinking like, it could not happen because it continues to not happen. And then you're like, it cannot happen. It's not possible that this thing could happen. But then by your arrogance of thinking it cannot happen, it is presented with a situation where it can happen, and then it does happen. And then that happening shakes you to your core. And then you're like, how did this happen? Well, that happened to me. Good day or night to you, and welcome to the Gaming Tome. In my last video, I told a mildly amusing story of how I lost a miniature. And in this video, I'm telling another mildly amusing story. The thing that happened is this. My miniature cutters slash clippers slash snips, they done broke. Snips sounds like a tasty treat. Waiter, bring me another platter of those chocolate peanut butter snips. Why are we talking about these cutters? Because they broke. You can see there. If you focus in real good, you can see that it's missing one of the tips. How did we get to this situation? Well, it ties into one of the reasons why I haven't been posting that many videos on this channel, like the past 6 months. Oh, I don't like the way that sounds. God, what have I done? I need to get back in the swing of things. Why haven't I been posting that much? It's a combination of things. A big part of it is just feeling burnt out and trying to be a perfectionist when it comes to some of these things. Like even the simplest videos that I make for like my other channel end up taking so much time to make. And then the ones on this channel take a lot more time. And then when I want to craft something for a video, I don't want to just make like one piece and be like, aha, look at this one thing I made. No, I want to make a full set of that thing. And that takes a long time to make. And usually, like, by the time I finish making it, my inspiration to make a video about it is kind of dead. But I've got some things to make videos about, and I'm gonna do it, okay? I'm gonna need you to complain in the comments so that I make some damn videos. But another part of it is that this room where I craft things, paint things, edit videos, make videos about things I crafted and painted. Usually I'm not doing it this low to the ground, but it's for reasons. We're in this corner for reasons, okay, that are relevant to the story. So get off my back. Complain in the comments. This room where I do all this crafting got repainted, and I helped with that. Repainting the interior of a house is way easier than repainting the outside. You don't have to deal with weather. If you have weather on the inside of your house, you've got bigger problems. Part of what I wanted to accomplish was that I wanted new electrical outlets. The plan was repaint the whole room, then final task, take out the old electrical outlets, put these new ones in, and then we'll be done. This was not the first time, though, that we had replaced electrical outlets in this house. That first electrical outlet that we put in was a real pain to deal with because there's 2 wires that go in on one side, 2 wires that go in on the other side, and which one goes where actually matters. But the thing is, the old outlets, and we didn't notice this until after like a whole day of screwing around with it, the screws that the wires are bent around and come into contact with the device, they have a metal plate connecting them on the left side, and the ones on the right side have a metal plate connecting them as well. So you could have them flipped, the ones on the right flipped or the ones on the left flipped, and it would still work. But that doesn't work with these new ones. Eventually we figured out that the old outlet had that weird quirk, and we were able to switch the correct things and get it working, and then we get the little green light, and it's like, yay, it's working. By the time that this room was being painted and I wanted new outlets in here, we knew what to do. We installed 2 outlets in this room. One over there, you don't get to see that one. And then one right here. You get to see this one. Look at it.
Look at it.
Gaze upon it. Behold its glory. It's really hot in this corner. Earlier I said this is an old house. Because it is. There's a box in the wall, and that's where the wires come out of and where the outlet goes into. But what's weird about it is that it's kind of far back, recessed into the wall. So you need really long screws to reach back there. And I have a feeling that's not normal. It just doesn't feel right. We shut off the power to this outlet. We unscrewed everything. We pulled out the old outlet, installed the new device, hooked up all the wires and things, and went to screw it back in. It didn't feel right. I wasn't making any progress. I was like, what the heck? How long is this screw? I pulled it out and I realized, oh shoot. The long screw that originally was in there snapped when I was taking the old outlet out. There's a shaft of threaded metal where I needed to put a screw, and the amount that was exposed to grab to pull it out was like only 4 millimeters. So there's barely anything to grab onto. We tried pliers of multiple different shapes and sizes, and we were trying to grab that screw and turn it. If we could only turn it a bit and get a little more grip, we could do this, but we could not. We could not get in there. The pliers were they weren't sharp enough. We couldn't grab it right. But then I had an idea. What if I used my model clippers? I had been using these for crafting almost since I started getting into like miniature wargaming and modeling and stuff. When I first started, I actually used these wire cutters, which are actually a terrible tool for cutting models off of plastic sprues because there's a slight bevel on both sides before the sharp cutting edge. Shortly after starting, I got some real model clippers. The blade part is actually quite thick, and by having it this thick, it's very strong. Over the years, I tried using these clippers for more and more robust things like popsicle sticks and I can't think of it. I can't think of anything else.
It's really hot.
I eventually came to the belief that these model clippers are indestructible. They haven't broken so far. Maybe they won't break. Maybe they can't break. Maybe they're indestructible. And so that's what was going through my mind when we had to take out that broken screw. This is a precision tool. It can grab things close, and it's indestructible. I'll just grab that screw and I'll just turn it, and it's gonna come out. And if it doesn't come out, then I'll just bite it off. Eventually, I got to the point where I had bitten it almost flat. There's a deep groove on both sides, and I was able to grab onto it with the tip of the cutters and turn it. That was a good sign. But it was such a confined space in there that I could not let go and get a new grip to continue turning it. I was going at that for a while, and eventually we decided, let's just chew it off and we'll punch what's left of the screw through the hole and see what we can do from there. So that's what I did. I put all my force down and I was like, bite. There was a snap. And I was like, yes, we bit it off. Wait, no, we didn't do that. It's still there. And then I looked at the clippers. The tip broke off. I broke the clippers. This outlet was the final boss of the repainting this room project, and it killed my miniature clippers. We were able to chop off what was exposed of that broken screw and take a metal punch and a mallet and punch what was left through the hole, and surprisingly the hole was able to accept a new screw. I don't know how, but it still worked. Shoved it on in there with all my strength, put the new plate on, plugged stuff in, yep, it works. But it was sad to see that these clippers broke. I ordered new clippers. They're much thinner at the tip. So these ones are definitely not indestructible. These ones were nearly indestructible. It took all my strength and an evil screw to damage these clippers. That screw was evil, I tell you. People say inanimate objects can't be evil, but that one was evil. I think we can all agree. I can still use them. They're not going to be as useful for model cutting. The moral of this story is just because something has not failed doesn't mean it cannot fail. I'm pretty sure that's a logical fallacy. It seems like a very common one. Like, it seems like there would be a term for this specific fallacy, but I haven't been able to find anything that's a real satisfying description of this situation. There's a lot of umbrella terms that apply to it. Anyway, that's how these clippers broke. So I've got a pair of broken clippers, I've got a pair of new clippers, and I've got power. It's time for me to make some more videos. I'm talking about real videos, not telling these silly little stories. I'm gonna craft something or paint something, and then I'm gonna tell you about it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Time for me to crawl out of this real hot corner. I'm sweating here. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Coming to theaters near you, The Happening.